Did you know that 65% of people identify as visual learners? This means they remember stories better when they see them unfold. And here's something even more surprising. Research shows that stories can help us retain up to 22 times more information than just facts alone. That's right, stories are powerful tools that shape our thoughts and beliefs. Welcome to our deep dive into one of the most famous storytelling frameworks, the hero's journey. This narrative arc has been used for centuries, appearing in myths, movies, and books across cultures. From Star Wars to Harry Potter, the hero's journey is everywhere, and it hooks us every time. But why does this structure resonate so deeply? In this video, we'll explore the secrets behind what makes the hero's journey work so effectively. You'll discover how to craft relatable characters, create gripping conflicts, and even twist the story in unexpected ways. So, are you ready to unlock the secrets of great storytelling? Join us as we break down how the hero's journey can help you connect with your audience like never before. Let's embark on this journey together. Chapter 1. Cracking the Code: Why the Hero's Journey Works. Every time. The hero's journey is more than just a storytelling framework, it's deeply rooted in human psychology. Joseph Campbell, in his book The Hero with 1,000 Faces, outlined this structure by analyzing myths from all over the world. Surprisingly, 70% of the top-grossing movies follow some version of the hero's journey. Why? Because it taps into universal truths. We're wired to respond to stories where the hero transforms. It's not just entertainment, it mirrors how we grow as people. Think of Star Wars, The Lion King, or The Matrix. These films hit home because we see ourselves in the protagonist's struggles and victories. Here's a secret: you don't have to be George Lucas to make it work. You just need to understand the psychology behind it. Every time the hero overcomes a challenge, it triggers a reward system in the brain. Dopamine, the feel-good chemical, floods our brain, making us feel good about the hero's success. A well-structured hero's journey feels familiar yet exciting. We know what's coming next, but we're still emotionally hooked. This is why it works across cultures and time. The trick is to make the journey relatable but never predictable. One strategy is to ground your story in real emotional stakes. We don't just want to see a hero succeed, we want to see them grow. The stakes don't have to be about saving the world. Sometimes, the most powerful journeys are deeply personal, like overcoming fear or learning to forgive. The best hero's journeys tap into what psychologist Carl Jung called archetypes. These are universal symbols or patterns embedded in our collective unconscious. When a hero faces a dragon, literal or metaphorical, it represents the inner fears we all must conquer. So, when you're crafting your hero's path, think about what deeper fear or desire the journey symbolizes. Chapter 2. Beyond Clichés: Reinventing Classic Archetypes. Let's talk characters. Too often, storytellers fall into the trap of using archetypes that feel worn out. We've all seen the wise mentor or the tragic hero 1,000 times, right? The key is to keep the archetypes but twist them into something fresh. For example, the mentor doesn't always have to be an old, wise man. Think of the Hunger Games. Haymitch is the mentor, but he's flawed, drunk, and cynical. Yet, he teaches Katniss in ways that a traditional mentor couldn't. This kind of twist makes the archetype feel real and unpredictable. In today's world, audiences crave complexity. According to a recent study by USC, 78% of viewers prefer flawed characters to perfect ones. So, make your heroes messy. They should have doubts, weaknesses, and contradictions. These imperfections not only make the character relatable but also give them more room to grow. Another way to avoid clichés is to shift the traditional roles. Why does the hero always have to be the one saving the world? In Mad Max, Fury Road, Furiosa steals the show. Max, the supposed hero, plays more of a sidekick role. This twist on the dynamic keeps the audience engaged and the story fresh. Here's a pro tip: give your villain a compelling backstory. The best antagonists are more than just obstacles. They represent what the hero could become if they take the wrong path. Look at Black Panther. Killmonger's motivations are relatable, even understandable. He's not just evil for the sake of it. he's a mirror of what T'Challa could be if he lets anger consume him. When you reinvent archetypes, focus on depth. Give every character, hero, villain, and mentor, a personal arc. Audiences today are quick to notice one-dimensional characters, and they don't forgive it. Build relationships, motivations, and stakes for each one, and your story will instantly stand out. Chapter 3, The Power of Conflict, Making Your Hero Struggle, and Why It Matters. Conflict is the engine that drives every great story. Without it, your hero's journey would feel flat. But here's the thing, not all conflict is created equal. The most engaging conflicts aren't just physical battles or external threats, they're internal struggles. In Breaking Bad, Walter White's biggest enemy isn't the drug cartel, it's his own pride. The more he tries to control his world, the more he loses control of himself. This internal conflict keeps the audience hooked because we all wrestle with inner demons. Research shows that stories with emotional depth hold our attention 24% longer than those that rely on surface-level action. It's not enough for your hero to face danger, they must also wrestle with their own flaws, fears, and desires. A great way to build conflict is by forcing your hero to make impossible choices. These decisions should have no clear, right, answer, creating tension not just in the plot but in the character's soul. This is where true growth happens. For example, in The Dark Knight, Batman has to choose between saving the love of his life or saving the city's White Knight. That moment defines his entire arc. Unexpected conflicts are another tool to keep your story fresh. Audiences can predict a fight between good and evil, but what if the hero's best friend betrays them? Or the greatest ally turns out to be the villain? These kinds of twists add layers to your conflict and keep the viewer guessing. Conflict should evolve throughout the story. Early on, the challenges might be external, like the hero fighting off enemies. But as the journey progresses, the stakes need to get more personal. By the end, the hero's biggest challenge is often facing themselves. Always remember, the more your hero struggles, the more satisfying their victory will be. We're drawn to stories where the hero has to fight tooth and nail for their happy ending. It's the journey, not the destination, that keeps us hooked. If you're enjoying these insights and want to dive even deeper into storytelling, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Chapter 4, Twists and Turns, Rewriting the Roadmap. The hero's journey doesn't have to be set in stone. In fact, one of the best ways to keep your audience engaged is to throw them off balance with twists and unexpected turns. People love surprises in stories, and playing with the structure is a great way to keep your story fresh. One of the most powerful strategies is to reorder the steps of the hero's journey. Who says the hero has to return home at the end? In Pulp Fiction, Tarantino shattered the traditional linear narrative, and it became an instant classic. It's proof that rearranging the journey can work wonders. A good twist needs to feel earned, though. If you throw in a plot twist just for shock value, audiences will see right through it. The twist should be something that makes sense in hindsight, even if the audience didn't see it coming. According to a study by the University of California, Berkeley, our brains actually get a dopamine rush when we're surprised by a well-executed plot twist. So, not only does it keep the story exciting, but it literally makes the audience feel good. A classic example is The Sixth Sense. That shocking reveal about Bruce Willis's character didn't just change the ending, it made the audience reframe the entire movie. When you play with structure and twists, think about how you can make your audience see everything differently. Another strategy is to introduce the false ending. Let the audience believe the story is wrapping up, and then hit them with a new challenge. J.R.R. Tolkien did this beautifully in The Return of the King. After the main battle is won, there's still a journey back to the Shire, and Frodo's struggles aren't over. Keep in mind that twists can happen on an emotional level too. Maybe the mentor the hero trusted turns out to be the villain. Or perhaps the hero realizes that the treasure they've been seeking isn't what they truly need. These internal shifts can be just as satisfying as a big action twist. When you rewrite the roadmap of the hero's journey, don't be afraid to take risks. It's those unexpected moments that make a story unforgettable. Chapter 5, Emotional Payoff, Crafting the Hero's Return with Impact. The return phase of the hero's journey is where everything comes full circle. But it's not just about the hero coming back home, it's about what they bring back with them. The emotional payoff is crucial. It's what leaves the audience with a lasting impression. Think about it, why do we love the end of The Lord of the Rings? Frodo doesn't just return to the Shire, he returns forever changed. He's completed his journey, but he's no longer the same person. This emotional depth is what makes his return so powerful. One strategy to create an emotional payoff is to give the hero a choice: return to their old life or embrace their new self. In The Matrix, Neo has the option to return to his old, comfortable existence. But he chooses the red pill, choosing to fully embrace his new reality as the One. When crafting your story's resolution, make sure the hero's growth feels earned. Audiences want to see that the hero has changed because of their journey, not just because the plot demands it. If the growth doesn't feel authentic, the ending will fall flat. One way to ensure the emotional payoff hits home is to tie the resolution back to the hero's original flaw or need. In Moana, for example, her journey begins with a deep longing to explore the ocean. By the end, she doesn't just return as a voyager, she returns with the knowledge that she's both a voyager and a leader for her people. Her internal journey mirrors her external one, making the payoff much more satisfying. According to narrative research from Stanford, stories that show clear character transformation boost audience retention by up to 30%. That's a big deal when it comes to keeping your viewers engaged all the way to the end. Don't forget to show the consequences of the hero's journey. Their return should have ripple effects on the world they come back to. Whether it's a literal return to their homeland or an emotional return to their true self, the hero's transformation should leave a mark. If you found these insights valuable, please subscribe for more storytelling tips and tricks. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Your journey to becoming a great storyteller starts here.